Good morning. It's morning here, a little after 9 a.m. on Saturday. What is it? January 20th, 2024. This is episode 7 of our ongoing series about opening a new bookstore. This weekend is our third weekend being open. If you're new to the series, we're opening the store. We opened the store at the beginning of the year on the 6th of January. This is the third weekend, so technically this is going to be, today will be open again, our 6th day of being open. And yesterday went pretty well, better than the previous Friday, so that's good. That's always positive. I'm gonna make a little video here, and then I will make a video later in the day when we are actually open. But just wanted to share before we open later on about what happened. So yesterday was good. Our new employee is awesome. She's doing great. She has been going through a lot of books. She has been organizing things. She created this little display. What's new this week? We're creating some books down below for high schoolers that they might read. Romance book club, putting a lot of books here that are romance related because, of course, February 14th is coming up. So lots of cool stuff that she's doing. We're really happy about that. And she's able to open and close as well. So that's really exciting when you hire somebody who you can depend on, because I have my other location, so I can't be here. Otherwise, I would be here. I can't be here the whole time. I can come by later. So going well. When you're opening a new bookstore, you need books, you need someone to work, and you need customers. So we had lots of books, and I'm bringing in as many books as I can each week. I brought in probably, guesstimate, about 40, 50 new books. So not a ton, but a decent amount. Probably around, 40, 50 for this week. I'm continuing to look for more and more books. I already have a few more for next week that I'm lining up. And this weekend we got, so far, or I should say yesterday, Friday, we got 4 boxes of donations of books. There's a lot of older, so there's these 4 boxes here. This one. That one I just emptied out, and I have this stack here to go through, and I'm already sorting through all of these kids' books. They're mostly kids' books, but there's some other stuff in there as well, a lot of older kids' books. So I will be going through those, and that will really help with adding new books to the store, because we already have, look at this, Ray Bradbury, Fahrenheit 451. So that's a great book to put out, and that's a good start, you know. We got some donations the first weekend we were open, and now we are hopefully going to get some more tomorrow. We'll see. If not, it's fine. But I got to head out. I just wanted to share a little bit about what's going on, and then I'll film tonight when we're open and see how many customers we're getting. I'll film when it's a little slower, or maybe at the end, depending if it's busy. So we had a section here called Women's Focus or Women's Interest, but it's called Women's Focus. She was going through that because a lot of the books might be older and might not be a lot of interest in that. So I'm going to start building out some of these sections. That's what's going to be happening the first couple of months, is going through all of these books, finding what's in there that really should be pulled for a variety of reasons, or things that are books that are overpriced, underpriced even, but that kind of thing. And just filling in the empty spaces, creating new, like we've already done here, new sections. We already have some ideas of new sections as we get more books to put in there. So yeah, so I'll check in later. But opening a bookstore, it's been good. It's only been 3 weekends, but it takes time, and you have to be patient. You have to be consistent, and just keep. Stay open and put out great books. Try to build a list of people that are interested in learning about the new inventory you get. Build a newsletter. Get a following online. All that kind of stuff, which is what we're all working on. All right, guys. I'll check in later. Much later. It is unfortunately not still the 19th of January. It is now January 30th. I was unable to film later on in that day for a variety of reasons, even though I was here. So I did want to pick up, though, where I left off. That was the 3rd week. Now we have had our 4th weekend, I should say, our 4th weekend of being open. It is Tuesday, January 30th, and we have gone a full month, our first month of having our used bookstore be open here at our second location. If you're new to this, I opened a bookstore, book and movie, music, and video game store 4.5 years ago at a different location, and I started leasing this space about 3 years ago. I bought all the inventory, shelves were included, all that stuff, and there was way more books in here. But anyway, I sat on it for a long time because of being so busy with the other location. Finally, we opened it beginning of this year, so it's been 4 weekends, technically 8 days that we've been open, from 2 to 8 on Friday and Saturday. So we've kept it minimal hours just to test the waters as we go forward. And so, while I don't remember specifics about the 19th, I did look at, which was a Saturday, I did look back at all of January before making this second part of the video to see the numbers and how we've been doing basically for those 8 days. So again, we've only been open 12 hours a week, Friday and Saturday, 2 to 8 later in the evening, because this is a location that a lot of people go to for to eat. There's events on most Saturdays, so people will come out for those events. There's also a concert venue, an antique row. There's a theater across the way over there that's really has been around a long time. So there's a lot of reasons why people come down here later. We haven't tested the waters for being open earlier, like let's say at 11 or 12. We are thinking though about being open maybe an hour later on certain Saturdays when there's an event. This past Saturday, 2 days ago, they had an event down here, which they have twice a month, which is mostly food vendors, live music and or someone DJing, playing music outside. It's out here and to the right. So it's over there. They block off all of this. There's vendors all over there, and to the right is it's like a little amphitheater, outside amphitheater, with a little stage, and so people will set up there. Like this last Saturday, they had a live band, and then they've had a DJ there. They had a DJ who was out here in the street. They blocked the street off. So this time they had vendors that came all the way to where that white car is there, all the way here. And so people were walking all the way up here, and we were getting a fair amount of traffic. So that's a side note. But I look back at the numbers. I don't want to say the exact numbers, exact sales, not like it's anything huge. It's been, although there are some patterns evolving where I notice where Fridays are slower in terms of sales than Saturdays, which is not a surprise considering that there's just more people down here on Saturday. Although it's still a Friday, but Saturdays are busier, and the sales per day per week have been kind of consistent. Interestingly, this last weekend was the slowest week of sales so far, and the most in terms of just how many books we sold, or not how many books, but what we sold it for. The total gross receipts were the most the first weekend for some reason. Not like we didn't have a huge grand opening. We just opened, essentially, told some people, and that kind of thing. It is kind of a shock to a lot of people that didn't know we were going to open. But anyway, and then the third week was the second highest, and then the second week was the third highest, and this last weekend was the slowest in terms of overall sales. We did sell some, but it was the slowest. And now looking at what was the total sales for the whole month, it is less than we need to pay our employee. Although she missed one day she didn't work, so she didn't work her full hours. But it basically just about covered it. Now, if you have employees, i.e., you're paying payroll, you know this already. But if you're not or haven't, then you don't know that there's quite a lot of other taxes you have to pay, like Medicare and different types of things. So it's not just let's say they make 10, I'm not saying this is what she's making, but let's say if they're making 10, obviously this is not enough, but if they're making $10 an hour, working, 20 hours a week, $200. That's it? No, there's other taxes you have to pay. So it's more than just the hours. So you have to take that into consideration if you're going to have an employee, and make sure that your sales are going to cover that. And something that we understand, because we're just starting, is that it's going to take some time to generate enough consistent customer traffic or flow of people coming in here and period coming in the store period, and then actually purchasing books. So, the first battle is getting people in here, which is, it's a good location. That's good. It's been a bookstore for a long time before. That's good. And then the thing that we have to be good at is putting enough books on the shelves that people actually want to buy. And the majority of the books that you see here are from when the day the store was closed in March of 2020. The majority of these books are the same books. Now, of course, we've started to put out a lot more and add a lot more. We've added a lot to the kids section and young adult. And just generally speaking, all this stuff here, the first two, what do you call them? I just mentioned it in the earlier clip, but those are new. Those are new to the store. So, which is why you see here, I have these stacks, because I just took pictures and made video of all of these the new inventory that's hitting the store this week. I'm trying to put out about this quantity for now. It's about, I don't know, anywhere between, counting those kids, but even if you're not counting those kids' books, it's about 40, 50 books on average. I'm trying to get about 50 plus. And as I get better about finding more inventory, I'll add even more. Ideally, it would be like 75 to 100 books a week. But again, so it's kind of like the chicken before the egg. Yes, we need customers, but also we need good books. So when we get customers to show up, we need to have a good amount of fresh inventory, new inventory, freshening up the shelves. There's a lot of great books on the shelves already, but just having more and more new inventory is going to help, because that's what we're doing. We're selling books. So it's been good. In terms of just starting, not doing a grand opening, not building it up. It's been a good start. The most important thing to us has been finding our employee that's worked out really well, and we're excited about that going forward. And we want to make it a success for all of us, so that the store is, ideally by the end of the year, that there's a pretty consistent amount of people coming in that is a combination of new customers and a lot of repeat customers. And that just takes time to get the word out and for people to find us. That we're doing, we've not only are we selling a lot more books on Friday and Saturday from 2 to 8, but that we have tested out the waters to try different days, and the summer is different, and, all that kind of stuff, and just see what makes sense. Also, we can just be like, all right, we're just going to open on a Thursday or Wednesday and see what happens, right? So, that kind of stuff, try different hours. We'll see going forward, but there's a lot of testing the waters and figuring out this area, also letting other businesses know about us and trying to work collaborations. We're going to be putting some artwork on the walls. Well, there used to be artwork up there before. There's lots of empty wall space. So we're just trying to figure out stuff like that. But the bottom line is, if you're thinking about opening a used bookstore, I can't say about a new bookstore, but if you're looking to open a used bookstore, I guess whether it's a new or used, you gotta have a good location. It's got to be set up. You got to have lots of bookshelves. This was great because the bookshelves are already built into the wall. Not into the walls, but they're already there, attached, nailed to the walls. We don't have to worry about it. We can hold lots and lots and lots of books. So that's not an issue. We already had a lot of stock to start. You got to have a steady source of books. And like I mentioned, we're aiming towards getting lots of donations and doing lots of trades. So the more that people find out about us, the more books they'll bring in. This last week, this weekend we didn't get any donations, but that's fine. It's going to take time. So there's just a lot of little things that we're still working on. Like, we're still working on getting the sign. We are going to put up there on the wall outside. We're gonna paint over what's there, and we're gonna put something like listing the different kind of books with a big arrow, something like that. You know, kids books, manga, you know, nonfiction. I don't know. We're gonna something that'll catch people's attention, that'll bring them in. That's one thing we notice is as people are walking by, they're not even looking at the store and noticing it, even though they're walking by. So we need something to grab people's attention. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one as we go forward. So far, so good. Excited about the future for this. If you're in the area, come and visit us. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care.